Hello all. This is a continuous to my previous session that was exited abruptly. So here I opened two sessions as we have already created Lambda function and also S3 bucket. The Lambda function I created today is Sri Lambda test4 and the S3 bucket is Sri Lambda test4 S3 bucket. Okay. There are too many buckets and too many functions. Don't get confused. So use the naming convention appropriately so the applications can be related and the services also related. You should know easily, you should be able to recognize what services are related to what application. So naming convention is important here when you are building up big applications. So you should have a standard format for all the services. So here I created this bucket and also created an event. In the properties, we can define the events to S3 buckets. In the S3 bucket event, we have one active event. What is that active event? This is the active event. And you can see what is there in the active event here. So anytime the object is uploaded, the event should occur and it invoke the Lambda function. Okay, I'm not saving it, so it is still active. And let's go to the other session. Let's go to the other session and see Sri Lambda test4 is the Lambda function that I created. And now you can see here in the beginning when we just defined the Lambda, the S3 bucket was not there in the designer as a source. So S3, when the object is put, it is going to invoke the Lambda event. Okay, we are not adding any destination in this case. We are going to directly put the log information from the Lambda code. Okay, so you can add multiple triggers for one Lambda. So in a different events, you can add a CloudWatch, you can add a API gateway like that. You can add multiple triggers to this Lambda code. And here in the code editor, you can see this is the Node.js application. So Lambda will be using a Node.js compiler. And here I am invoking AWS SDK, standard development kit from Node.js provided for AWS. We are invoking that to execute this code. And here instantiating a bucket and bucket equal to whatever that is coming from the event. We are reading that and writing it into the console log, which is going to be created in the CloudWatch logs. And also we are uploading the key is nothing but the file name, object name. So this is the code we have. And most of the properties we are not editing. But here, basic settings, I am going here. See, the timeout is 3 seconds. So I want to increase the timeout. By default, the timeout is 3 seconds. Let's put it like 45 seconds, right? So if the Lambda execution doesn't occur within 45 seconds, it's going to be terminated. So 3 seconds is like very short time. Sometimes if resource is not available for any reason, Lambda is not executed, we may miss the event, right? To ensure that the event occurs, this is going to be executed, we are setting the timeout parameter. If you want to use, in certain cases, you may have time limit. Within the time it should be executed. If not, you are going to ignore. In such cases, you can specify a certain time limit that is required. So here I'm going to create a new role. Okay. Sorry, here I should use some relevant role name. That is Sri Lambda test4. You can give any name, Sri Lambda test 4 role, and the access I am going to give is a S3 read only object. This Lambda is not writing, updating anything to the S3 bucket, but it is reading the information whenever the object is put. For some reason, it's not coming up. Yeah. So here is the role I added. You can add multiple roles also, but here I am adding only one role, that is Lambda can read the information, object information from the S3 bucket. Okay, and save it. Taking time. It could be an internet problem from my side, or maybe the AWS cloud is not responding. There are so many factors, right? Why it is taking time. Okay, so here these are the properties. So now let's see if my Lambda is going to be executed and how it executes. So here in the overview of the bucket, I am going to upload a file, which is a put event I am creating now. Okay, some image file, and I am using all default options to upload the image file into the bucket. 100% successful. I can see there is an image in the bucket. There is an object in the bucket. Okay, that is nothing but a file. And now let's see if the Lambda function is executed. So what happens when the Lambda function is executed? It's going to write the data into the log file. It's going to write the data into log file. What the data bucket name and the object name. So let's see that we can see from the CloudWatch logs. The console log is going to be written into the CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is a service where all the logs are organized, managed. So go to the CloudWatch. And go to the log groups. So here you can see the log based on the Lambda name. AWS is the root directory, Lambda is the service name, and then the Lambda function I created. Click on that. Okay, and here you see the log stream. This is the log stream created. Let's see, and what is the time the log stream is created? It is the today, and with some different time zone here. You can change the time zone properties somewhere if you want to see on your local time zone. There should be an option here. Okay, let's click on the log stream. Okay, so this is the log entries. By seeing the log entries, you can see this is the S3 bucket name. Okay, S3 bucket name written into the console log. That means the Lambda is executed. So this is a simple example, by if you want to generate the log files for your S3 bucket events, like put copy, delete, update for all the events. If you want to execute a Lambda and log the information, this is how you can create a Lambda function. That's all for this session. Thank you.